Some mistakes are out of your control. Some mistakes you make because you listen too much to others. However, some mistakes can be more costly than others, and sometimes there are just some mistakes you really wished you didn't make. To help you avoid getting into any real sticky situations, we've put together a list of a few common mistakes young people tend to make. 1. They waste time. Because of the abundance of time they have, young people are careless about it. Time will fly either way, but maybe you might want to switch your focus to some other things which will contribute to your existence. People reach into their pockets for their smartphones all the time. They need to text or Facebook or hop on Tinder, they can't be alone. They always have to be entertained. You need to keep your mind busy. Read books, get hobbies, go out and do things. It's important to grow yourself and your mind. You don't want your mind to stagnate. 2. They spend money carelessly. Young people are dumb with money, that's pretty much a given considering most money is given to them and not earned. The most important thing is that they are unable to save money, no matter the amount. Here's what we want you to do: no matter how little money you have, try saving 10% of it however you can. 3. They don't invest in themselves. Everyone thinks they have time on their side and that it will work itself out in the end. When we say, invest in yourself, we mean more than what you're doing with the little money you have. We talk mostly about time, and because that's the resource you are rich in during your early years. 4. Impulse spending. Most people fall victim to impulse spending. Whether it's a few dollars or a few $100s, most of us have probably done it before. Most impulse purchases are things we later realize we didn't really need. While it can be tempting to go out and buy the latest piece of technology as soon as it hits the market, give yourself some time to think. Spend a few weeks thinking about whether you should buy it before you do. 5. Not networking. When we're young, the seriousness of working and building a career may not have clicked in our brains yet. We still feel like living for each day as it comes and just chilling out and enjoying life. While that is important, it is never a bad idea to try and start networking for your future career as soon as you can. The idea of networking might seem like something professional people do. It might even sound boring to some, but it really is important for your future. Ever heard the saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know? Networking doesn't mean you have to get dressed up in a suit and tie and start making conversations filled with fancy words. 6. They stay in unhealthy relationships or unhealthy in general. People get so caught up in the little things that they don't realize the harm they are causing themselves and to those around them. This includes being in toxic relationships with others or even with yourself. While you're young, you need to explore, learn, and grow. The best way to do that is by making small mistakes and learning from them. The problem is when people get themselves into bad situations and never leave. Early relationships can have long-term effects, so be careful of how much are you willing to put up with just for the romantic idea of it all. 7. They think friendships will last forever. Sorry to break this to you, but most early friendships fall apart. That is because they were based on vicinity instead of cornerstone values. People drift away in different careers, different lives, they evolve into different humans. At some point you'll realize you've become so different that you no longer share anything apart for very few memories which are fading away. Any early relationship is like that, be it romantic or friendship-oriented. We recommend keeping in touch for as long as possible, because 8. Studying a useless degree. This can be a pretty easy mistake to make. After all, who knows exactly what they want to do with their entire life when they're only around 18 years old? Maybe some have it figured all out, but it's more likely that the large majority have no clue what job they want to pursue. While getting a degree is a great thing, studying the wrong one can be costly. To go through this stressful period and come out with something you don't even want is frustrating. So, when you pick a degree, pick something you're passionate about. If you're early into your studying years and realize you don't love what you're doing, then don't be afraid to change. Whether it's changing to a different degree or quitting college altogether, make the decision that. 9. Have a kid early or with the wrong person. A child too early doesn't allow you to grow into a version of yourself which has a shot at winning the game of life, and most of your plans go out the window. The other thing is having a child with the wrong person. We know the world is changing and your intentions might be good, but bringing another human into this world requires a bit more judgment and planning. In my opinion, you should only have a child if you and your partner are ready for the lifelong journey of growing someone who is better than both of you. 10. Investing without research. Hearing stories of people who have made millions investing on the stock market can make it very tempting to give it a go ourselves. Investing can be a very rewarding thing, but it's not as easy as just throwing your money away on random shares. You need to do some research. If you invest badly, it can mean you lose a lot more than you put in. 11. Buying or building a house early. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking you need to buy a home as soon as possible. Our society gives us this impression that once you own your own home, you're set for life. While having your own place is a great thing and there is no harm in aspiring to have one, don't rush into getting one too early. While it can be rewarding, trying to have your own place can also be extremely stressful. If you're insanely rich, you probably won't have a problem, but for the average person, house owning is a real commitment. 12. Giving up so easily. It is so easy to just give up when something feels too hard. But the biggest mistake you can make sometimes is to give up. Pushing through the hard stuff is what makes a stronger and well-rounded person. When things start getting a little tricky, don't take the easy way out. Keep on pushing through and you just might surprise yourself. If you keep on trying and things still aren't working and you're really not enjoying them, then maybe walking away and trying something new is a good idea. Just make sure you give it another go before you make that decision. 13. Relying too much on parents. If you've been lucky enough to have mom and dad helps you financially throughout your younger life, there is nothing wrong with that. However, you need to be able to recognize when it's time to start being more financially independent. If you're continually using your parents' money to get by and aren't really making any tracks to becoming financially independent yourself, it might be time to stop and think. Financial matters can be tricky and difficult to understand, but they are a part of life and at some point we all need to learn about them. Conclusion: everyone makes mistakes in life. The best time to make them is when you're young so you can learn from them and grow. But making mistakes is never fun, so the less you can make, the better. Have you ever made any big mistakes that you instantly regretted? Did you learn from your mistakes? Let us know in the comments section below. Please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell notification to be the first to receive our next educative videos. Thank you.